Hello, everyone. Hello, souls. It is a festive season, and indeed, there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of happy emotions. There's a lot of happening, and we're full of joy. At the same time, there's a lot of overwhelming emotions that comes up for us when we have the pressure to be perfect, to have a pressure to get the perfect gift, create the best holiday, and experience the best parties um, for our family, for our friends. So it could be a bit emotional at the same time as happy and joyful. And today we decided to have this space for us, have this space for all of you to create the time to connect to ourselves with NavigArt and play. Yes, so Corey is currently in Dubai. So she's playing, just traveling
Very
around the
playful
world.
place. It is like a big playground, like a sandbox playground, literally. I used to live here, so I've come back in a very playful mode because I've come back to play with dear friends that I would call soul family. So the we all have people that we really feel safe and free to play with. And so, yeah, it's perfect that we are going to move into play. And especially, like you said, Valerie, holidays can be beautiful, but they can put a lot of pressure on us. And another reason can be, I offer it, this is another potential reason why we feel a lot in the holidays is often we're reconnecting or returning to our birth families, our families of origin. And in the development of ourselves, our souls, our consciousness, we get our first core wounds from family and from our family. And that sets us on our journey of discovery and expansion and the things that we talk about here. So visiting back or returning back, even if you've been growing and learning and doing inner work, can have you trigger yourself. I know that it's still a challenge for me. So, like, I think it's Ram Dass that said, you think you're awakened, just try going home for the weekend.
Yes.
So even,
Dear
even
parents. Yes.
yeah. So yeah, Valerie and I got thinking that, you know what, when we're in the emotions have a vibrational scale. And the lowest measured emotion is shame. And often we have a lot of shaming and blaming in around the families. Like Valerie said, sometimes we have this, we talked about the mask. Sometimes we have a perfectionist mask that feels like we're not doing enough. It's got to be better. Or maybe we have the shaming and blaming in loops in our family rhythm. Well, we can move up the vibrational scale and we can actually have a lot of agency in that through relaxing and through flowing and moving out of that fight flight brain and flowing into our calm, creative brain, intelligent brain that is hooked up with all of life. And we can do that by relaxing and moving into the power of play. When we move up the vibrational scale to flow state, which is peace, calm, out of that animal brain and into our incredible evolved brain that is our true nature, we actually can move into a state of like a high vibration of 600 as opposed to 20 hertz of peace and calm. So I'm up for that today.
So how do you move to that vibration, Corey?
A big one is I don't know if any of you have been watching Valerie when she's creating or joining in with us, but when we move ourselves into flow state, flow is almost like it is a form of trance where we get at a high beta analytical thinking mind. And if we map the mind, we start to move into alpha, if deeper even into theta. But if we start to go into different brain states, our breathing regulates, our nervous system calms down. This is exactly how we do that. And we can do it in many ways. I mean, this is why people meditate. This is why I offer hypnotherapy or guided meditations. But we can create our own neural guide and our own pathway through playing in a really relaxed, non-shaming, non-blaming, peaceful way. So that's how we do it. And in fact, when Valerie and I got feeling into this session with you guys, I said, Valerie, I know I've offered workshops here in Dubai when I lived here like 4 years ago. I offered a workshop called Relax and Feel the Power of Play. And then I burst out laughing, you guys, because I know always when I travel, I see people that I feel that I should share my book with. A book came through me in Dubai. This is interesting. I'm in Dubai. And this book flowed through me during COVID when there was a lot going on, a lot of low energy. So I would move into meditation. I would move into flow state. And this book downloaded. And guess what chapter I found this morning with my coffee? The Power of Play. So it might be gorgeous if we work through a bit of the book together. Would that be fun for you guys?
Yes, let's, because that's how I actually found you originally, through the book. Because when I saw Full of Colors, that's what I was searching for, and then you actually had a book with that name.
That's so neat that you found me through searching that name. That's beautiful. See how things just come to us? We have a general plan and we think we're in control and have an idea, but
yes, that's right.
Life is working for us. So, well, I'm cracking the book open, you guys, and I'm just at the part of, here's a question for all of us, me too, because I've actually planned for this trip. My intention was to play and have a lot of fun, because I haven't for a while. And listen, it's my own medicine. Do you remember the last time you played just for the fun of it? I don't mean a weekly guitar or lesson or a yoga class you're enrolled in either. While those are enjoyable, it's like story time. There's a scheduling and an organization element that counters the spontaneity of free play. I'm asking about the curious, wonder-filled inclination for play that children in the great outdoors naturally do all day. Whether you're climbing, hiding, building, or breaking things apart only to build something new, most children don't need to be told how to play. As you sit here now and imagine little ones going full out in their imaginal world, don't you sense yourself just longing to join in? That's because there is a playful child tucked inside of you, and that child is ready to play now too. So if it's been a while and you need a reminder of how enjoyable it is to play this way, this chapter will take you there. So it's like, I give you this chapter as a little warm up. And what this might bring up for you, though, is a few things. So one thing that I touch on in this chapter, I won't read you the whole chapter, is that sometimes we think, yeah, I want to play. And then all of a sudden we think, but I got to get it right. And that's a little
control. The control.
Wow. The control. Yes. And we talked about that, right? Through your cards, Valerie. By the way, Valerie's cards, they're all
yes,
printed.
I've got
shadow cards. Oh, do you want to show them? We're so excited. Like,
there's a playful cards as well.
This is playful, yeah. Show us the box. This is amazing.
So yes, that's the new cards. Yes, the one that you can play with. It is playful, that's right.
Yeah, that's playful. It's like we were talking about that. There's ways you can be, even though we're doing deep inner work, we can be playful, like with Valerie's cards, and flip through and see, sense in, which shadow am I working with? Yeah, show us a few of those. They're just so pretty. Do you mind?
Yes.
We were just talking how excited we were before the call. Wow, look at that one. What's that one?
That's a nomad.
Oh, of course she showed me that one. That's my life.
This is what came out.
And look at the colors. It's all, and that's the colors of my new website launching this week too.
Orange. There's no coincidence in
no
those.
coincidences here. Yeah. That's amazing. So we're celebrating Valerie playing. See how what happens? So she had this concept in her head, like, oh, I would love to express like different aspects, healing aspects, shadow aspects into a way that people can pick it up really easy, literally pick up a card and feel into yourself there. I can't wait for my deck. I think I'm going to take
Yes,
a
it's
close
coming.
look
It's
at
coming to
that.
Brussels. Yes.
Good, good, good. Can people order your decks? Like maybe we should.
Yes, Amazon. Yes, it's on Amazon shop.
Okay, maybe
Yes.
you're going to put the link below.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Well, okay, so let's go back to this getting it right, because Valerie is moving through that block, as am I, and we're starting to feel the power of playing. The more you just let these ideas, these thoughts become things, the more that can go. But some of the reasons we get that block is like I write about it in my book. Like I'll read this little bit here. I remember a woman who didn't dare touch the colors initially in a workshop. Only later, after finding her way in, did she share the humiliation she felt as a little girl in first grade when her teacher scolded her for painting her sky in a full array of rainbow colors. See, those moments, even micro moments that can shut us down, those are actually, when we're little, we're back to brain. We're in hypnosis. So we take that as this is life. Like she ate that, and that became a program. So when I invited her to play, that came up that I can't just grab that. I want to grab those colors, but what's stopping me? So if there's something stopping you, be so easy on yourself, because that's actually pointing to a little hurt one inside of you that just needs a lot of love and needs to feel safe. And you can create that safety by just putting your hand on your heart, just breathing her in or him in, and just saying it's so safe for you to play. Those can be emotionally charged moments, and sometimes you can't reach them yourself. That's often when you need to lean on a healer or a therapist or someone else to help you find that, because that's deep in your heart and your body. It's called your subconscious. But it kind of is a good thing to learn that when you're triggering yourself that way, it's always pointing to something in your programming. And the good news is, if something was put on you in a program, it sure can be taken off. So it's not a permanent thing. But today we're going to invite you to come on in and to let the little ones be your guides. So just let yourself maybe we'll do that, is we'll do a little bit of a closing our eyes and envisioning our inner child playing. Does that sound like?
That's right. That's what I was actually getting, yes, to get into that playful time in your life when you had no controlling person around or yourself
Yes,
to control.
exactly. Oh, Valerie, that's so good. And as you're saying that, it's so neat, because I don't know if you guys can see. I wanted to actually do this outside.
Yes, please show. Yes, please show.
But I forgot that in Dubai, it's beautiful, but there's always jackhammers and construction sites because they're always building. But see where I am? Do you see the beach there?
Yes,
So
and the water. Yes.
The water, the blue water. While I was out there this morning doing my, doing my yoga, and a little meditation, there was a little kid out there and his brother, and they were just running on the beach. And you can see, they're not planning, like, let's go here. And they're just following whatever. And all of a sudden, this beautiful bird come down. They're going to go chase the bird. This is the spirit of play that we want.
And that's the time when we're present. We're actually present in the moment. We don't plan what to do. So we just, if we take the stone, we're completely with that stone and we start creating with it. We don't need, yes. And unfortunately, that's what we go away from, into controlling and planning. And now we're trying to go back.
Yes. And we're actually, that's a very good point. We're literally saying, I'm not going to go down that road. Literally, we have a neural pathway that our substantial people in our life, society says, okay, you got to schedule and and we bought into that. So we're literally opening up another neural pathway, which is actually there, because when we were kids, like Valerie said, we grabbed that stone.
Natural.
Right? So we're just saying, giving ourselves permission. We're going to just, even if it's just for this little window of time, but you might just find you get more playful after this, that you bridge it into your life, that you start choosing the colors you're going to wear because it feels good. Or you choose the way you walk to work in a new way because it feels good. So let's start here and see what happens in your life when we relax and feel the power of play. So as
Okay.
always, Valerie, show us your tools, your power tools.
Yes. So I have a lot. I'm just waiting for the guidance so I can switch the
Okay.
camera.
So I'm grabbing my little travel tool. So see how simple. I just threw some paper and my crayons in
That's
the,
right with you.
yeah. And what we'll do is just a little bit of a guided meditation in, just to get ourselves out of, sometimes when someone invites you to play, if you haven't for a while, you might be jacked up in your survival brain going, what am I going to do? Remember, if you've been watching us, there is no plan. You have no idea what's coming through. That's the delicious part of this. You're just moving energy onto the page. We're not making art. We're allowing you to express more of yourself. So if a color feels good, grab it. When you get bored of that color, drop it. If you want two colors in your hands when you play, go for it. Just whatever you want. And you will start to notice, I really like sharp shapes, or I really like curly shapes. Just let all of that guide you, okay? And that's how we're going to go. But before we do, I want you to just feel yourself sitting on your chair, on your sofa as I am, or wherever you are. And just bring your hands to your paper. You can put them down if you feel like, I just need a bit of grounding, or you can have them up if you feel like I need to receive a little bit of care and energy today from life. So whatever feels natural to you, and we'll begin to just soften or park your eyes halfway if it feels better. And just start to notice that your breath, it's breathing you. There's nothing for you to do. We're inviting your beautiful breath just to move through the crown of your head, softening in through your beautiful eyes, the windows to your soul, moving through your whole scalp, your cheeks, your jaw, softening into your neck, spiraling in there, releasing any tension, opening you wide into splaying. Your breath is splaying now into your shoulders, melting anything you're carrying there that's not for yours and not playful, not for you to carry. Feel your breath now spiraling down your arms, through the crook of your elbows, moving through every bit of your hands, your thumbs, your fingers. Simultaneously feel that warm, sweet breath moving through your chest, melting any sadness there. We carry sadness in our chest. Feel it giving you so much love as it moves through your back. Anything you're carrying, any worries, troubles on your back, let it go as it spirals through your belly. Just releasing with your breath and the warmth of your breath any fear, anxiety. We carry that in our belly. And now feel your breath just moving through your hips, melting any frustration or anger. We carry anger in our hips until the breath moves it away, and it's spiraling now through your legs. Just giving some love to your knees so that you can step and pivot into new directions, new ways of moving and grooving through your life, playful ways. As your breath now spirals down your calves, tucking through your ankles, wrapping through your arches, grounding you through the balls of your feet and every toe so that you can stand strong in who you are and express yourself fully. And from this place, this space of you, just invite your breath to breathe you, to play you like an instrument, and to take the colors that feel really you now, just now, moving them in any way whether in one hand, both hands, whether you grab 5 colors at once, it doesn't matter. It's just play. Giving yourself full permission to play this way. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Go for it. Have fun.
And it's interesting when you do this meditation, I have very strong images coming through.
Really?
Yes, and I wonder if it happens to everyone, or is it just for the visual people, like the one that are more visual? What do
What's
you
your
think in your practice? In your
Yeah,
practice, is there a lot of people that has very strong visuals, or
that's such a gorgeous question, Valerie. And it's so interesting you say that, because on the flight over, I was reading Marianne Kennedy's book. She's a psychic medium, very well known in Canada. And I was reading this section on our clairs, which is when we start to really align with our true self and clean up a lot of the static in our life. We do come back to our childlike self, and our childlike self was extremely open to our clairs, which are psychic senses. So you were talking about clairvoyance, where you literally see things. Voyeur is the French verb, and many people will say, "Oh, I see colors and shapes," or literal scenes. Almost like movie scenes. And that I would, it's just a hunch, can't say it's certain, but perhaps that's happening for you, Valerie, that your clairvoyance sense
opens up? Yeah.
opens up because you're not interrupting it with programming and that stress brain. Like, it's a switch, right? You're either in the calm, creative, hooked up to the source brain, or you're in programming, fight, flight. So as you gain more liberation from your programming and become consciousness itself, you have access to all these things. So when we were looking at, even now, if you watch your child play, or I remember people saying, "Oh, Corey was always with her imaginary friends or in her imaginary worlds." Well, actually, children are, because it's the imagination can be used for heaven or hell. And we are just wide open to all those aspects of life that are beyond the visible. So that's quite gorgeous. Like, I have very strong clairaudience. I can hear messages. Sometimes
So
it's
you can hear, you can hear.
So what that means would be, on a practical sense, is sometimes when I'm sensing something, maybe I have a client with me, or maybe I'm just talking with a friend and they're sharing something, and then they say something and it's suddenly very important. I think you touched on this last time, Valerie. You said,
Yes.
Corey knows which words. How I know which words is
Yes.
literally a ringing in my ear. And sometimes it sounds like those old school bells? You'd see the old
Yes.
ding,
Yes.
ding, ding. I'll get a ding, ding, ding. And I used to think, what is that? Like, do I need to go to the doctor? And yes, there is tinnitus. Some people do have medical, but oftentimes, if you start noticing, when is that happening? What's going on? So it's also like you become more conscious and start to notice things. You'll start to notice, if you're in alignment, that actually that's communication from beyond, and that we all have access to that. So another big one is clairsentience, where you just can feel. So Valerie, how does it feel to be back in Dubai? And yeah, it's a lot of energy in Dubai that can be intense. It's an intense place. So or there's claircognizance. A lot of people they'll say, "Oh, I don't have all those clairs," and then, but they'll have claircognizance, which is they just know stuff. To cognizant, cognition.
Like the ideas come through.
Yeah, or people, I'll say to someone, oh, how did you, like, why did you guys move? And they'll say, oh, I just knew it was time. That's
Mm.
beautiful. That's aligned. Like, oftentimes, if you think back, there are certain moments you might have made some big structural changes. And I have a hunch, if you really track it, you'll realize, and that you just knew, and that came from a wider part of you. It's not just this little idea. And that's a beautiful thing when we start to come into those gifts, because I love to call them gifts, but they're actually our natural state of being. And it's like coming into the awareness that, oh, we don't have to have it all figured out. We actually have information streaming to us all the time, into and through us. And it's being in the flow of life. And it's a much easier ride. It's flowing with life rather than paddling upstream, trying to do it myself, like that. I've done that too. It doesn't work very well. I'm so enjoying watching you play, Valerie. Oh my gosh. How is it feeling in your body to play this way?
It is, I have a lot of fear, surprisingly, because it's childhood. I was very controlled child by my parents.
Yes.
So I have a lot of fear comes up from making mistakes. So if I'm going to make a mistake. So, and that's why, if you don't mix like markers with watercolors.
Oh,
So,
like these rules, right? These
yes.
Yes. Okay,
And
this
that's
is important.
where, yes. So basically, if you know, like if you do watercolors, you don't take the markers and then do on top of them. Like that's not supposed to work. So I just did it. So basically breaking the rules.
Nice. I love that you brought that up, and how funny. I just flipped open the book, and guess what it says? Whenever we're learning something in a state of stress or for fear of getting it wrong, our brains can't absorb new information. So this brings us to the third lesson in play. It's essential to be easy on yourself so you can experience the joy of learning in a relaxed way. And you know what? I love that Valerie brought up the rules. So that makes me think of Vishen Lakhiani, the one who created Mind Valley, which is like a big kind of
Vishen Lakhiani.
But he had this word called brules, and it's basically bull poop.
And funny you saying about him in Dubai, right? Because he spent a lot of time
interesting,
there.
Right? Kind of that's energy. But one thing it just tracks in my mind is all our conditioning, the conditioning we got when we were in that hypnosis, little children taking in everything and just seeing stuff, and we were making up rules about life, like Valerie touched on. Well, you don't mix markers with watercolor. I have one. You don't ever put red with pink, like when you're getting drunk.
Yes.
And I, like you, will break that, because actually it is belief systems. Suzanne Geisman, another amazing meeting, she calls them BS. It's BS because who makes these rules, right? So this is gorgeous what Valerie's deciding. She's saying, okay, I have this neural pathway and it's kind of getting activated, because it's like I was taught this. that was downloaded in me. But today I'm overriding that. This is the power of your agency to choose a new pathway. This is choosing joy. And you can do this. It's funny. We don't realize the prisons we create in our own self. So I'm honoring Valerie for choosing that.
And this funny thing, because I've actually, when my son wants, they kids, right? So they want to try things.
Yeah.
And we as parents, we say, oh, that's not going to work, because that's the rule. Like, you don't take this paint and expect it to not to become dirty, if you do the painting. And he does it anyway. He always goes for it.
And it's so important to not be afraid of looking silly when we're trying something, or not be like and how do we do that? Just by going for it anyways, and noticing that the world didn't end, and I do think our kids are great guides for that. In fact, that's what they do. They push off against us. That's why they need us. If you're our parent, that's why this work is so important. They need a regulated, attached parent to themselves, so you can attach to the child. So then they can push off and try new things. And it's always, my kids are now 19, 21, like this
Yeah.
age. Oh my gosh, I learned so much from them because I really don't see them holding back with any limit. I'm so grateful, and it inspires me because look at your painting. There's an absolutely gorgeous play happening there, and the world is still spinning with marker on watercolor.
Which doesn't work, by the way.
It's like we have this is giving you permission, I hope, if anyone's playing along with us, or even if you're just like blending and flowing into Valerie's play. I want to read you a little bit more that's just popped out. The words are popping out here. As you let go of the idea that you need to get it right every time, as if there were ever such a thing in creativity. This includes creating your life. Like, you don't have to just be thinking about this with art, you guys. We create our meals. We create our relationships. We create our interactions. We create how we put ourselves together. We create our homes. We create our businesses. We're always in creation, okay? Because that is our nature. So as if there were ever such a thing as getting creativity right. And then as we allow everything to be as it is now, you can drop straight into your heart and you can play in a free and curious way. And if we're choosing our focus, and if we're focused upon that which is up, shifting and uplifting in and of ourselves, could be a poop storm going on outside of you. There could be people really wanting to put you down for being happy, by the way, and playing. Been experiencing that lately. We will then naturally dive in with full engagement, both in our art and in our lives. So if you're choosing for yourself, if you're choosing this, you will dive in because this is your nature. And once you're in the flow of it, my gosh, like look what's happening with Valerie over there. She's in her flow.
Yes. And I have a lot of things that come up because of this. Just the way that I do the lines is a free flow, like there's no control, there's no thinking behind it. It's more like a doodling as well.
Yeah.
But because there's no control and you're not trying to overthink where it goes, so you allow that play, and then you become curious. That's the curiosity comes out of the play. That's, when people are doing business and they plan in ahead and then it doesn't work, they have expectations. So that's what's coming up for me. When you try to do things just as playful without having expectation of what's going to happen. And I guess that's how we started this live stream as well.
Yeah.
And you just allow it to happen for curiosity.
Yeah. Yes. And this is so beautiful. Look at Valerie's right. And we don't plan every episode. We just stay in our relaxed brain. We always receive together an idea and it flows. We just flow it out. Yeah. So yes. How about that inner critic voice? Is it still popping? Are you getting pop-ups of it as you're going?
So because it becomes so beautiful, I actually feel like what a stupid thing not to mix watercolor with markers.
That's so beautiful. I call that inner in that critic. I call it the inner nag. Kind of nags, like, come on, what are you doing?
It's not gonna work. Yes.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Why are you doing this? Why you bother?
And just expect it, because it's actually a conditioned part of you, and it's just trying to keep you safe. It's actually just tragically trying to keep you safe. And so when we push against it, it gets louder. Or if we if we should it away, it shouldn't be there. No, it actually is a really important part of us as we're growing. We had that. And so what I invite you to do is just to include it in the space, but let it know you're safe. So just like, I'm safe. You can just go over and sit over on the other side of the sofa, or you can sit beside me or be a little bit behind me and watch, and you'll see. Or you can give it a job. Like the mind loves to have, a ruminating mind looks for problems. So if you give the problem, give it a solution or potential, you can say, why don't you go sort my laundry socks? I hate doing laundry socks. I just be playful with it. Just see it as an energy and just send it on its way. That also is fun. Give it something to do though, because it's a really picky one. And or like Valerie said, your drawing itself, the energy of your artwork might just take that down a notch, because you literally now have data, proof in front of you that, when I just overrided that critic, look at the fun that has come out on my page.
Yes, and at the same time, like when you give tasks to your or thinking mind, and you just say, yes, it's like, I listen to you. Thank you for telling me, and I acknowledge that you're there to tell me these things, but I'll just try,
Yeah.
So you can have a conversation with it and say, just, okay, yes, I understand that doesn't work, but I'll just try. Nothing's going to help. Like, it's just painting.
And Valerie, good. When you speak like that, I hear like such a calm voice. This is the calm, safe brain, right? So you're giving that inner critic is actually connected to an inner child that's really scared and wants to feel safe. So that's beautiful. I think as a mom, you probably do that with your little ones too.
Yes, I guess that, yes, we are protecting ourselves as parenting ourselves inside them.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it's the process is very simple to understand, and that's so enjoyable to get into that flow state. When you just dive in, and then when if I like change the perspective of it.
Yeah, let's play with that. So this is big when you change it. Oh wow, I see so many things. It's very playful.
And then you can play with it, because I have a lot of things that pops through for me, and the vibration of like just the colors that comes up already talks to me a lot about, try to be playful. It's like a tapestry. That's the word that comes up from tapestry. I still don't know what it means, as you have your voice. I don't know. I have the word says tapestry. It's like blending in different pieces that are not matching to create something new. And maybe that's what happens when you experiment, when you go into your playfulness, when you get to enjoy different things together to transform into something that's morphing. Yes, that's the word,
morphing. Yeah.
And then I also have the vision of kaleidoscope. If you know what kaleidoscope is. So you have all these different pieces, and then when you look, your brain connects it and sees something, beyond what's in there. Like, that's what comes to me.
It's so beautiful to listen. I could just listen to you. Even as you're speaking, Valerie, my heart is just, my cells, I'm lit up. See how play is contagious? So now as Valerie's making those connections, I'm just like this, because I also noticed, I thought right away, it's like a beautiful fabric, like woven. I saw weaving,
Woven, weaving, and yes.
And feeling each other. So I'm way over here in Dubai. Valerie's in Melbourne, and we are having this amazing synergy. And this is, I hope you can sense this. It's so much more than colors on a page. This is energy meeting and growing and expanding. And what you just shared is so important. All of these pieces that we might even think are insignificant of ourselves, when we bring them together, not from the shaming, blaming vibration, but from this flow, peaceful, calm, playful, curious. Valerie was curious. She was following her wonder. We literally create a wonderful life. It's in our hands. We can do this. It seems so simple that some would doubt it or say, "Oh, you're just being Pollyanna sunshine." I'm not saying life is never hard. We literally talked about at the top of this call. It's going to be intense during the holidays. It will. You know it will. But here's a power tool for you. And if you don't have 20 minutes, you just have 2. I've used this in the back of a car with a ballpoint pen, you guys, when I'm in an Uber and I know I'm going somewhere where there might be some intense personalities. It's moving energy in a playful way. And you can set your vibration right up to the scale where you choose. You're that
So
powerful.
Laura just said it is like collaborating. We are more than just the individual pieces, and when we interact, it becomes something bigger than we expect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amen, Laura. So good. So good. Yeah, it's like a weaving. She saw it too. Oh, and Eugene's here too. Hi guys. Sorry, I missed the comments. So nice to have. So that's another point. It's so gorgeous to have you here with us live or on the replay, because again, that's energy doesn't know any difference between time, space, forms. It's just flowing, right? So that's amazing. And Valerie, how do you feel in your body, mind?
I have a lot of insights about not being scared to mix two unmixable things. It comes to things that come up to you and then you doubt and you start controlling and thinking, but that doesn't work, and I've tried it doesn't work.
Yeah,
try it. Try it. One thing could not work, another 2 things could work, and that's what came to me with that in life it's not about watercolor and markers. It is about making things like steps in your life that you thought that's not going to work. So trying things, being playful, and that's probably coming up for the new year. That's probably my year. I'm putting together things what I want to do in the new year, and that's coming up really strong. So thank you so much, Corey. And I can see that you are shining in Dubai. So this amazing
shining there, Valerie, especially after getting all that information and validation that all that stuff coming through you, it's meant to be. You can mix all that stuff up. It's so good.
Yes. So whoever wants to find Corey, we have link under this video on how to connect with her. She has a new show coming up on YouTube about having coffee or cuppa or cacao with Corey, and she's gonna do that every second Thursdays.
Yes, alternating between ours. So Valerie also, because we
have a pause because it's a busy time, and we'll come back in the new year. And then we're going to be doing the podcast as well. So speaking and there's a lot happening. As we see, the more we do this work, we open up new things for us. Like today, like this, drawing of connecting that between and creating something new.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you so much for everyone who joined, and I hope you have a beautiful festive season.
Yeah.
Take time for yourself. Have time to be present. I think and play. Yes. Corey was just telling me before the live stream about Neo and Matrix. So let's play.
Let's play big time. Yes. In our matrix.
Yes. Thank you. And I will see you in the next year.
See you guys.